Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have an extremely special guest all the way out in India working on a really cool project that is very timely, especially as it relates to both the Metaverse and NFTs. We have Lokesh with Trace Network. How are you doing today?
Hey, hi, Richard, and thanks for having me over here. I'm pretty much excited. Everything is fine, and we are going through a very exciting time in both terms of the new products what we are going to launch in very soon time, and also the Trace token is going to get listed on one of the tier one exchanges. So it's pretty much exciting time as well as a busy time too.
Oh man, absolutely. Like to go through the full product of building something and then getting to listing and then having a marketplace. Like there's a whole lot of excitement around what you have going on. But before we dive into all of that, I first want to learn more about you. Can you give us some background on yourself?
So previous to Trace Network Labs, almost for like 12 years, I worked with these fashion brands, helping them in implementing supply chain solutions. So in 2017, I got kind of hint about like what is Bitcoin. So it was a little late, but yes, that's how it started, and that's from where I got introduced to blockchain as a technology. And then I dwelled into it and realized that it's a kind of a kind of blessing which everyone, including the businesses, individuals, everyone needed this kind of tech, and that's from where I started building up various enterprise solutions on blockchain. And in 2020, I started working on conceptualizing Trace Network Labs along with my partner Sunil. So Sunil also happens to be kind of very he has been into fashion industry for almost 35 years, and he is very well connected with all these luxury fashion brands. And so our journey started with Trace Network Labs in 2020, and we kind of explored what the metaverse is and how big it's going to be, and then thought of like what are the real challenges in this space of metaverse, and also like how we can capitalize and how we can help businesses to come and create their new market into this space. So that's how we started.
Man, that's really cool. Like the fact that you again got to work with a lot of fashion industry supply chains and having that kind of industry knowledge, and then discovering blockchain, and then now seeing the opportunities that were in Metaverse, and of course everything going on with NFTs. It's very timely with what you're ultimately creating with Trace Network. So I think it's only fitting to now kind of dive into what exactly is Trace Network and how is it? How are you differentiating yourself compared to some of these other NFT and Metaverse plays?
Okay, so Trace Network Lab is basically enabling real-looking meta twins, which is our avatars and lifestyle for them in Metaverse, powered by NFTs and digital fashion. So the Trace Network Lab's vision is to be a de facto gateway for lifestyle brands to launch new set of limited edition lifestyle and fashion products made for our real-looking digital avatars to move them across multiple chain and metaverses. So basically, with Trace Network Lab, the unique thing what we are coming up with is in the current space of metaverses, most of the metaverses are like closed economy, wherein if somebody want to go and explore the metaverse, they first have to create their avatars there, and then they kind of go and experience their space. And also if they want to buy any asset over there, like if they want to buy any branded product which they want to put on their avatar before going and attending any concert or any professional meetup, so their assets and their avatars, they only stay in that specific metaverse. They can't carry it into a different metaverse. So it's right now it's like different cities which are not connected to carry your own digital identity as well as your digital assets into different space. So that's what Trace Network Labs is actually trying to solve. So basically our avatars will be more of which people can create, which will be realistic. First of all, right now there is no such metaverse which gives real looking avatars which actually can represent the real you. And these avatars you would be able to carry into any metaverse. So basically, once your digital identity is created, so you can just use it to enter into any metaverse. And
Wow.
the identity layer of the avatar would let people to kind of enter into any metaverse without any signups and those kind of stuff. Like today, how your Gmail ID is being used to sign up into any new Web 2.0 application. Similarly, your
Right.
avatar will become a new sign up identity for you to enter and explore any metaverse.
Wow. So let me unbreak that. I mean, so real quick, like that is really, really cool. So you're making digital avatars that are more realistic, that are kind of representations of a digital identity. And I believe you call that the buddy. And so not only are you able to create this digital avatar that is a representation of you in the metaverse or whatever representation you'd like it to be, you then can take that buddy, that avatar from Trace Network and go cross chain to any other metaverse because you're basically interoperable between all of these different chains.
Right.
Wow.
That's correct.
That's cool, man. That's a huge feat to be able to like play nicely with all of these different cross chains. I know that's a huge undertaking.
Yes, for sure. But again, as the technology which is right now we are using, it's like already it's something like it's only about putting up the right thought and the kind of solution we want to bring to the community. Like if metaverse is there and we want to onboard like billions of people into that space, so there has to be easiness in kind of just going and exploring the space. And when you explore the space, it's all about like what you want to do over there. Do you want to just simply collaborate with the other metaverse population, or it's just that you want to go and attend a concert or a game, or you want to do a professional meetup? So it has to be a very easy experience for everyone. So that's kind of what it was, the genesis idea about like why and what exactly we should be doing for simplifying this kind of experience to onboard next billion users into the metaverse. And since right now we are living like majority of our time online, so metaverse is a new kind of digital civilization being made. And so the more and more population would go there, the more they would create. So yeah. And so besides this, so there is another thing like okay, you have your digital identity being created. So if I want to again in the same example, if I want to go and attend a concert, so I would want to also carry my style statement according to the event and occasion. So Trace Network Labs is coming up with the second product, which is Bling NFT Marketplace, where all these global fashion brands, they will be coming up with their limited edition wearable NFT collection, which will be completely complying with all the metaverse standards. So basically, if you are buying these wearable NFTs, you can just simply put on your avatar and you can just go around, depending on where you're going, and accordingly you can carry your style statement. So this is another product we are coming up with, wherein we are enabling these brands to kind of serve the digital population on metaverse.
Okay, so the Bling Marketplace. So not only can you make your realistic avatar, but now you can give them accessories, and those accessories can travel with you to these different metaverses.
Absolutely, and that's what is the purpose. Metaverse is basically like what we are able to do in the real world. We should be able to do the same in the digital world as well, wherein it has to be more limitless. So the way how I am trying to carry my style statement in the physical world, and depending on any event, I decide what I need to wear. So same way in metaverse also, you would want your avatar to actually represent real you, right? So accordingly, you have to have your accessories and your digital wardrobe to choose the right set of clothing, and accordingly you go for these kind of meetups.
Oh, definitely, man. And it's just cool to see like this new phase, this new ability to create something like an avatar that is a representation of what you want it to be. So I guess my question for you is, how are the avatars from your marketplace and what's being created? What is happening in the background for those avatars to look more realistic? Is it that they're having like full bodies? Is it that you are trying to how is it like if I want to go in there and I want to make an avatar that looks specific to what I want it to look like? How is that creating? Am I creating it, or are you and your team, like I send you a picture and you create it? Like, how does that work?
No, it's going to be very simple. So first of all, it is going to be you who is just going to take your photo and generate the avatar. So it's going to be a full body avatar wherein you are going to define various attributes, and basis of your photo, it would generate that avatar. So eventually it's going to be, it's a combination of your face as well as various attributes about your body. So accordingly, the system is going to generate this avatar for you.
That's cool. So I send a full body picture, and then your algorithm's able to create a representation of that into the
only for your face, and based on other attributes you are going to define about your body, like your height and measurements. So accordingly, system will generate this avatar.
Got it. No, that's really cool. That is very unique. So like, as you look at the roadmap of where all are, I know that you also have, again, tokens coming out soon. Can you kind of tell me about like, what is the token utility of Trace Network?
So primarily the Trace token, it's going to be used for governance. So basically the token holders would be able to make various kind of decisions, and they would be able to basically participate in various kind of decision making, like which all brands to onboard, which all kind of partnership to do, and so all these kind of activities. Besides this, Trace token is going to be used for community incentivization. So basically, it's going to be a reward to the network participant who would be participating into various kind of campaigns and activities at time to time. Apart from this, Trace token will be used. A major portion of Trace token is going to be used to be distributed amongst network users. So basically, Trace will be used for incentivizing staking on the network. And the main use of Trace token comes in wherein Trace token will be used as a base token fuel to mint, acquire NFTs. And these NFTs are like your avatar NFTs, your millions of merchandise NFTs will be minted using Trace token. Apart from that, the third product, which I have not spoken about, it's Metabox. So Metabox, it's a virtual space which you can design for yourself, wherein you can use it to collaborate with other Metaverse residents. So the NFTs for Metabox will also be minted using Trace token. So these are like some of the major utilities of Trace token, which we have thought of. Yeah, with coming time, we are going to work on with some more interesting use cases of Trace token.
Yeah, thanks for breaking that down. You brought up Tracebox. I want to spend some time there. So for a person who doesn't necessarily has experienced the metaverse or virtual reality and how all this works, how would someone potentially, if they want it, like they're listening to this right now, they're like, this sounds really, really cool. I want to be able to create like a cool metaverse room that I can invite me and my friends to do XYZ, or I want to put on a metaverse event. How would they be able to come on to Trace Network, set that up, and what do those steps kind of look like? Do they have to have a VR headset? Do they only use their computer? Can you kind of just walk us through what that looks like?
So the first version will be very simplistic, wherein you will get all the infrastructure to create your virtual space, wherein you design up your space by yourself. You can accessorize it by buying the lifestyle products from Bling NFT Marketplace, and then you can use the space for a regular meeting up with your friends, family, or you can use it for doing these kind of interviews like what we are doing. Or otherwise, you can rent it, to other such kind of YouTubers or whosoever needs a virtual space for collaborating with other metaverse residents. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of utilities for this virtual space. Even like brands, they can create their virtual store wherein they can give a kind of experience to people. Like whatever products they offer, they can let people to come over there. Let's just go with a simple example. Let's say recently, H&M has opened a virtual store for people to come and experience their products on their avatars, and then they make the decision. So similarly, almost every businesses would need this kind of setup wherein they can let the population, metaverse population, to come and explore their products, experience it, and then accordingly, people can make the buying decision. So this virtual space can be used for various purposes.
See, again, man, it's a new and exciting world, and for a lot of people who can like conceptualize how they'll be able to use it, I think the better will be for adoption of just seeing like those steps that like, oh, I can actually go and set this up and do this now. So on that subject, where are you and where is Trace Network on like the roadmap of people being able to come on, create their avatars, use the Bling network, create their virtual rooms? Can you kind of walk me through like what that roadmap looks like?
So we are ready with our first product, Buddy, to let people create their realistic avatar. We are going to launch it in another week or 10 days. Right now, we are busy with the listing stuff. So since Trace Network is going to get listed on Huobi Prime on this coming 28th, so right now we are a bit busy on that. So immediately after that, our plan is to launch this product. And Bling NFT Marketplace, so we have already onboarded 27 global brands like Italian brand Police, Pelham from France, and like these, there are 27 brands which we have already onboarded, who are right now preparing their metaversical collection for our buddies. So in the meantime, like we would have a good set of population, buddy population. And in the meantime, so basically we'll take a gap of say around a month to launch Bling NFT Marketplace. And then we'll start launching these brands collection over there. So Bling, somewhere it is going to get launched by end of Feb or early week of March.
That's cool. It sounds like a fun timeline. I know I'm eager to go check this out. Just it's a cool concept to be able to create my virtual avatar, then be able to go to a bunch of different metaverses to have these experiences and just get your first footing into this space, right? A lot of people aren't necessarily into the metaverse just yet, and I mean like physically using it. We're still very early as it comes to that. A lot of people are now aware that it exists, but not a lot of people are participating. And I think this allows a really, like you said, you're trying to onboard the first billion people, and it sounds like a pretty easy way to onboard these users, which is again pretty remarkable. As you kind of take a step back, you look at the metaverse and NFTs and where things are headed. Like, where do you see market adoption as it relates to this space?
See, a market adoption, it's something like we know how internet evolved over the time. So there is always there are like kind of mindset who are pretty much proactive to come and explore it, and then there are a few people who never believe that it's going to be a success in coming time. So like for this space also, it's going to take some time, but like all the big tech companies, they are working to create a kind of experience for all these people who are spending so much of hours online. So in this case, it's not going to be as it's not going to be as a big time to onboard more and more people on this space. It's more about like how quickly we can create open infrastructure for people, how easy and quick it will be for people to come and onboard and start experiencing the metaverses. So right now, all these metaverses which are now being created, they are like a closed economy. So everyone has started realizing that that's not how they can onboard so many people, wherein they can do so much of stuff in the virtual space. So we have just started like scratching the surface of this whole space, and now coming up with like Web 3.0. It's like all the parts are going to be in the hand of people, and so it's going to be. I would say that we already have a huge population of crypto enthusiasts, NFT enthusiasts who understand this space. Apart from that, there are people who are still reluctant to kind of give away their private information to access anything. So once we have this infrastructure at least ready for people to kind of we are giving them reasons to come on board and start exploring it. So it's two steps going in parallel. One is creating this infrastructure for people to kind of keep their privacy intact, and also creating a bridge for them to easily hop in from one metaverse to other metaverse, and also along with keeping their assets with them. Apart from that, and also, the most important thing is like the gaming population. They are the ones who are the first one to experience the metaverse. So even the gaming metaverses are also a version of it. So they are the one who are going to be like pretty much active in coming up in this space. And there is another side of it, like on the technology side, wherein the metaverses which are getting built up. So basically, it's all about creating a standard. Like NFT has a standard basis of which it can be moved from one a platform to other platform. So similarly, the metaverses would also have to have a standardization for all these content file which are going to be minted with the NFT. So once this standardization comes in place, it will be pretty much quick. I could see like in another 3-4 years, we will be in a position wherein at least majority of the population who is right now exploring Facebook, Twitter, they would come on this place and start exploring it, because Meta is going to be a new version of this social media.
It is Web3, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these larger companies start to get into this space, because they don't want to miss the boat. And just because these large companies who have a ton of money means they'll come in and they'll do it correctly, or they'll come in and be able to create what people are wanting to experience in this, and especially for the early adopters who are already here. Sounds like you already have a leg up on that. Sounds like you are already going after the right types of things. You have the long game in mind. So I definitely appreciate that sentiment, and for expressing some of that feedback with us. But man, you've given us a lot of information, a lot of great things to think about. Always like to wrap up with 2 fun questions. The first being, with all the information you have right now, if you could impart 1 to 2 pieces of wisdom to yourself when you first got started in the space, what would you tell yourself?
Okay, can you please repeat your question again? Because I missed the last part of it.
So you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom in what you're building and creating right now. If you could go and impart that wisdom to yourself when you first started building this, what's 1 or 2 pieces of advice you'd give yourself?
So the first piece of advice, because this space is completely new, but I would say that this space has 2 important things. One is we are using all those technologies which have already matured to a level which like, for example, AI, NFTs, blockchain. So already there is a huge adoption in this space, already a lot of stuff being built up. So it's all about like connecting within the ecosystem to kind of define the right solution for people. So like initially I started with something wherein it was something only business oriented a solution. Now I'm coming into a place wherein community and the people are first, and their experience is most important. So I think that's something I should have like thought in the first place itself. But yes, but soon we kind of understood this part, that community is first, and once we start realizing that what community needs, so accordingly, if we build up something, it's going to be adopted a lot more faster.
For sure. Definitely appreciate that sentiment and feedback. Community focused, community centered, and it really does help with creating something that your community wants to be engaging with, and that community will continue to expand as you keep building for them. So thank you for that. What is the final thought that you want to leave with all the listeners here today?
Your voice is breaking, Richard.
I apologize. I was saying, what is a final thought that you want to leave with all the listeners here today?
Oh, yeah. So I would like to tell everyone that eventually we are going to enter into Metaverse now or a bit later. It's all about being openness in terms of like what exactly you want to do and experience in Metaverse. That's more something you have should have in your head, because Metaverse is right now, It's just in a playing ground for you to kind of experience it. But it's going to be more of every metaverse is going to be a niche for a specific purpose. So some metaverses are going to be only for social collaboration. Some metaverses are going to be maybe for education, maybe for tourism and that kind of stuff. So I think let yourself open in terms of exploring it. The next part is to what extent you can be part of that world. That's something will be decided in future once we know that how it's going to shape up. But eventually it's going to be one single universe of these small units of metaverses. And I think it's going to be a very exciting time wherein even Trace Network Labs is also going to play a very pivotal role in this, and will let you enjoy this journey with us. And especially since we have started with our first product, which will let you create the realistic avatars, I think you should come on board. So by next week we'll be launching this product. It'll come and experience like what kind of avatars you would get, and so the journey has just started.
Sure. And thank you for sharing that final thought. Lokesh, what are ways that people can connect with you and learn more about everything you have going on at Trace Network?
So people can connect us through our website, trace.network. From there, they can connect us on our Telegram group, wherein lots of information are being shared. They can connect us on Twitter. They can connect with me personally if they want. They have any queries which they want to discuss, or they have any thoughts, like any reservations, like why they don't want to explore this place. At least we can have more interest and can understand what all other things we are overlooking, which we should consider while bringing up this kind of important connectivity between the physical world and the virtual world.
Sounds good. So make sure everyone go check them out on trace.network. Check out the socials. We will also be able to put all of that in the show notes, of course. Again, Lokesh, thank you for joining us, dropping all the amazing knowledge. And for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.